How niggas be talking, cause niggas don't stay in they lane. One day, the place they gon' put your remain. Cause somebody off him, cause he was talking. They did him off, took everything off him. Now this man mother, she can never call. She really depressed, her soul is just falling. She wish that she just left out of the jets. Maybe if she would've taught some respect, maybe she showed him some love, or gave him a hug. Instead, she showed him neglect. She was too busy just getting a check. It was her son that she didn't protect. Now that her life is a mess, she had to confess. She never gave him her best. She lost her son to the streets, and that's just how we facing the memories. When she would rock him to sleep, she could remember him copping the plea, and she just sat back and just let the shit be. Now she licking and coughing, she wish she was sleep. She sick cause of murder, she begging for peace. Now she gotta learn that this life ain't a dream. Now she gon' fight for her team. Open your eyes and get on your job. You do not got time, you gotta have heart. What you were living is not a facade. I think you niggas forgot about God. You thinking you hard, go play your part. He gave you the card, so don't be a fraud. You may be living your life in a song. Don't be a dumb. Keeping it real where I come from. I'm keeping it real where I come from. You may be living your life in a song. Don't be a dumb. I'm keeping it real where I come from. These bitches, they gon' come a dime a day and they gon' find a way to get you out of your chains. Know that bitches play cause bitches, they be snake. Don't underestimate a bitch in the game. The homie met a bitch and she was on the shit. She recognized this nigga simple and plain. She knew she had to lick this dude, she gotta get. She sucked all the sense right up out of his brain. Little dude fast, now she changed. Made a phone call, Jack boys, they came. Bust through the back door, took his chain. When the match to his head, made him open that safe. Can't reach for your gun, it's a little too late. Look around for the bitch like, bitch, you fake. She laughed at the nigga like, bitch, you lame. The Jack boy caught that bitch went bang. The homie went down and his body just lay. The bitch pulled up, see she had an AK. Put the strap to his head, said, bitch, don't play. Turn around, shot the Jack boy right in his face. And the other Jack boy said, bitch, you crazy. That bitch, I'm crazy. And the bitch just sprayed him. Y'all niggas better stop licking that cable. I gotta put food on the table. Open your eyes and get on your job. You do not got time, you gotta have heart. What you were living is not a facade. I think you niggas forgot about God. You thinking you hard, go play your part. He gave you the card, so don't be a fraud. You may be living your life in a song. Don't be a dumb. I'm keeping it real where I come from. I'm keeping it real where I come from. You may be living your life in a song. Don't be a dumb. I'm keeping it real where I come from. I'm keeping it real where I come from. You may be living your life in a song. Don't be a dumb. I'm keeping it real where I come from. What's happening? It's your boy Boss Man Blake, CEO and founder of Body to Beat Global. You may also know me from my music, from projects like the Blake album, Sum 06, Chapter 39, I Am They Goose, and my latest, Inspired. Not only am I an artist, I'm also an entrepreneur. You're an entrepreneur too, boss? Of course. So I want to introduce y'all to Body to Beat Global Marketing and Promotions, where you can get everything you need. It's a one-stop shop. CD covers, videos, promo videos, recording sessions, all of your musical needs, I got you. So hit me up at 912-571-1832. Let's talk some business. I promise you, nobody can beat my prices. On God. If we can, we gon' get it. The lyrics is more than the visions, more than just. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. This is a special episode. Grown Folk Talk. Y'all know I normally go live on Saturdays. But I got a request from a good friend of mine. And we are going live Sunday for Cousins in Conversation, so I will not be going live tomorrow for Grown Folk Talk. This is the substitute for tomorrow, so don't expect me tomorrow. Just want to put that out there. But I hope everybody's doing good on this Friday night. Didn't mean to throw you off, but been putting in a lot of work, networking. You feel what I'm saying? And I got a guest already ready to come on up here. So y'all welcome Chloe to the building.
I crawled all the way up here.
Say what?
I crawled all the way up here. I'm so beat up already. Hey, Jasmine.
What up, Jazz? So give people a little bit of time to slide in. But speaking of network, let me show y'all something real quick, just in case y'all have not seen it yet. Being on YouTube, and if you're gonna be a content creator, you need to network with others. Can't do this shit by yourself, no matter what sector you in. If you're trying to build a channel, network. Check this out. MTGV. Make this go viral TV. Two. Miss V. We in the building. Yeah. Network. Yes, sir. You gon' get the best work. MTGV. With your host, Miss V. Say it with your chest, putting work in, all on the net. Miss V. MTGV. Over here is about network. Wanna review, then let us check first. To up and coming YouTube, you wanna get more viewers and slide through it, maybe we can do it. Try to make it go viral. Is your channel sitting idle? Do you need some more subscribers? Do you need a couple riders? Then don't be sitting there quiet. Miss V got a team that'll ride. That's right. We got my girl you knew. At it again, media rocking on YouTube. Hell, they even working cases that don't even make news. And that's true. And they can do the same thing for you. Bada boom, bada bing. On a winning team, we gon' make it go viral. MTGV, I'm joining Miss V and the whole damn team. Oh God, you will never leave. Network, yes sir, you gon' get the best work. MTGV. Yeah, that was a promo video intro for Miss V. Y'all not familiar with Miss V? Let's Make It Go Viral TV. You new? If you don't mind, can you drop her link in the chat? Y'all go subscribe to her. She likes to do a lot of network. She got 2 pages. Drop both of them. And you can drop yours as well. She do a lot of networking. She's a part of the crime TV sector of YouTube. Got a heart of gold.
Crime Syndicate.
Crime Syndicate, that what you call it?
Why not? We all fit in there.
No. I only fit in because I like to goddamn help solve these motherfuckers. You feel me?
You're just in the closet. You ain't ready to admit it.
I'm a great guy. No record. I have no record. You feel me? Let's see who all in the building. What up, Lorraine? D Love in the building. What up, Jazz? People falling through. Jazz, you are one crazy young lady, but I fucks with you. Uncle Charles in the building. What'd you say?
I said, ain't she that shit crazy?
Yeah, Jazz crazy as hell.
Make you crazy too.
What up, Shane?
Sometimes.
All right, so tonight we have a requested Grown Folk Talk with a great topic. I think it's a hell of a topic because I went through it as well. So, I always like to play a song before
But I'm gonna go ahead and pop this on the screen first, so y'all can prepare yourself. The link is in the chat if you want to come up here and participate in the conversation. Because my opinion, your opinion, anybody's opinion is needed, and we would like to see different perspectives, not just mine, not just Glory.
How to prevent a murder in the family.
Yeah, we don't need you going to jail, man. You feel me? All right, so the question is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Is when do you draw the line when it comes between family and your spouse? Meaning, there has to be certain things family can't get away with, or I guess you could say vice versa. But then again, I'm not gonna get spiritual, but y'all know what the words say, so I'm gonna leave it at that. So we're just gonna focus on family. It's a line that they should not jump over. It is, and that's a fucking fact. But I want all you guys' opinion on where you draw the line. But first, let's march.
Oh, you're going crazy. Oh, you're going crazy. You're going crazy. You better march when I step. You better march when I step. Nigga, march when I step. You better march when I step. Nigga, better march when I step. Nigga, march when I step. March when I step. You better march when I step. Nigga, you better march when I step. Nigga, better march when I step. You better march when I step. Nigga, better march when I step. You better march when I step. Nigga, march when I step. You better march when I step. March when I step. Them Georgia boys. Hey, but we not from Atlanta. It's Bossman the Blick and it's Crucial the Cake. When we come together, nigga, form on me hammer. Fuck it, I had no manners. They sleeping on us good in they pajamas. I bam 'em, nail 'em down like a hammer. Stop playing with 'em, gon' kill 'em, nigga. Damn, what's next, nigga? I don't even know. I'm a giant around this bitch, nigga. Fee 5-4. I been round and around this game like a rope. It's about to go down like a motherfucking slope. If I had to be an animal, I'd probably be a goat. And I stay up in the hood, you can call me a coat. Can't beat me in rapping, nor beat me in trapping. Can't beat me in chess or tic-tac-toe. You better march when I step. You better march when I step. Nigga, march when I step. You better march when I step. Nigga, march when I step. Nigga, march when I step. March when I step. You better march when I step. You better march when I step. Nigga, better march when I step. You better march when I step. You better march when I step. You better march when I step. Nigga, march when I step. You better march when I step. March when I step.
I'm the lieutenant. I'm checking you bitches. You bitches ain't minding your business. I'm from the trenches. You niggas ain't taking it serious. Pussies, they tend to be curious. You gotta be kidding me. I keep me a remedy. His head on the guillotine, that what it finna be. I know you scared of me, that what it better be. Open chest, nigga, but this ain't no let it be. So what are you telling me? Greener than celery. I know the truth that you niggas prepare for me. All of these bitches, I know they don't care for me. I'm cooking them up and I been had the recipe. Softer than pleasure me. Bitches, they pleasure me. That ass be so soft and they shake like the letter be. Calling me king and they wanna be queen. You messy little bitches, I do not fuck with you.
You better march when I step. You better march when I step. Nigga, march when I step. You better march when I step. Nigga, better march when I step. Nigga, march when I step. March when I step. You better march when I step. You better march when I step. Nigga, better march when I step. You better march when I step. Nigga, better march when I step. You better march when I step. Nigga, march when I step. You better march when I step. March when I step.
What the matter, that big bitch ass nigga? What's all that shit on my table? What look like on your table? Cocaine, big bitch ass nigga. I don't give a fuck. When TK get back, you gonna have to get your ass up out of my house and take this shit with you. You want me out, Mike? You want me out? Put me out, Mike. You ain't put your girlfriend out when she got a chair and popped that picnic, big bitch ass.
You better march when I step. Nigga, march when I step. You better march.
Y'all ain't right.
Hey man, that shit make me laugh every time. Yeah, that was March from Arm & Hammer. We got some new shit coming, man. Matter of fact, Crucial over there right now working on some shit right now for his project. But we look like we got a comment already on the screen. So I guess we'll start with that first, Chloe. Then we're going to I guess I'll tell him how we came about to this topic. So Miss Jasmine says, personally, I think your family need to stay out your damn business, and your spouse shouldn't get involved in family affairs. All right. I can't disagree. I mean, I cannot disagree. Hey, mind your guy. The world would be a greater place if you mind your fucking business. So appreciate that, Jazz.
And
So,
have
Corey,
ESP to know when they're supposed to jump up to the plate anyway. Men should have been born with ESP to read our minds.
No.
Yes.
Talk to the people. Tell them how we came about. If you want to, if not, we'll just stick to.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah. I mean the realness
I want
of
you to
it.
get jabbed in your throat now. I want them to watching my live and come jabbing your damn throat.
I'm gonna jab something you ain't even gonna like it.
My fault. Go ahead.
Let me go call Mr. Figureleaf. He handle it. Irene! Rico looking for you.
She in your shades. I see her.
Rico looking for you.
I don't know who the fuck that is, but go ahead.
Oh no, as a lot of y'all know, the last, I don't know, half a year, whatever, I've been over here helping out with my dad and stuff. And I spent 35 years, 36 years, whatever, in Texas. So I wasn't right directly in the midst of the family. So when I'd get phone calls from siblings that something happened or whatever, y'all know well, what y'all know of me, I'm quick to go ahead and put my opinion out there. But a lot of times when it does come close to family, my sister, for one, because she raised her daughters different than I would raise my daughter. So there's certain areas that I won't say nothing because I'm not trying to offend, you just learn that. But other than that, like, so-and-so broke down. Somebody better go get them. I don't care who happened. Y'all better, because it's family. But along the way, I still don't know exactly when it happened, but my baby sister and her husband, I've called her husband because they're in their 40s and they've been together since they were 17 and 19. But they never actually got to get married, wedding-wise type thing, because of family. Because they were always taking care of family. And I don't think I realized it that as to the extent that it was until I got here. And I've been here for, these several months. But the last 18 months to 2 years, he stepped out on her. And it made me angry. Because it's more like, how dare you? Because I know my sister, I mean, even though she's hurt from it, she still ain't try to do no burning bed or nothing on his ass or whatever, she still, she let him come around the house and whatnot, but they're not sleeping in the same bed, that type of thing. But she ain't gonna turn him away. And I didn't like that. That made me angry. Because it's like he didn't just step out. Now he done made a baby too.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
And she's married, and her husband be calling my sister to let my sister know that her dude's on his way back over. What kind of mess did she? You can, he went down to the bottom of the barrel to find this one, that type of thing. But so I've been angry because how my I look at it like this. Besides, she's my baby sister, but she always wanted to do it the right way. She wanted to have dad's blessing. She wanted mom to do the wedding flowers and stuff. Well, then mom passed away, and when my dad had his accident that put him in a wheelchair, she was still in elementary school. So being the baby of the family, she always kind of got stuck having to help because the rest of us grew up and moved on. And as we all had kids, then like my sister's kids, they're here. So, she would help out with them. And then now she's had kids. So it's another generation. And it's always been one thing after another. And my sister, basically, she put her life on hold to help others. And I didn't realize that it bothered him my brother-in-law that stepped out until this past Sunday. I mean, I figured it probably irritated him, but I don't, to what extent I didn't know. But this past Sunday when he came to do the brakes on the truck for me, my sister had to run back to the store for something. I was feeling almost like I'm feeling right now. Wasn't quite to that level, but and I said something, and he goes, I can't go say nothing because I know it'll come back and bite me in the ass, because he knows how women are. We all going to, what your dude done said about so, whatever. But I says, nah, so and so, they don't they don't have any common courtesy for the other family members because they just dumping on, I feel like everybody just dumps over here on my dad's house. But like when my dad needs something, nobody's around. Nobody, And my brother-in-law said, first thing out of his mouth, he goes, Cassie, he goes, I messed up. I take 100% blame for it. He goes, I fucked up. He goes, I don't know if I thought that I was going to find something make me not have to deal with all this. And I didn't realize that what he was saying at first until I let him talk a little bit. He was talking about the same thing that, like, what I called you a while ago. Just one thing after another, bam, 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 bam. And it's like, and nobody wants to pick up a phone and hey, help out, do something. We're supposed to be all family. Okay, where's everybody at? I don't care if it's Friday night. I don't care what. If my dad needs something and I can't do it, somebody better answer the phone. And he's always, for these 35 years, he would always be the one stepping up to the plate to go help, whether it be, one of my siblings or one of the nephews and nieces type thing. And literally their time has passed. Now they'll never be able to have their own kids or nothing. Now don't think I'm giving him a pass on what he did, because I agree he's still fucked up. But I can I don't hate him anymore. If that makes sense.
It does.
I want to slap him. And I don't know if it's better for you guys when y'all, whether it's male or the female that's stepping out, for you to upgrade or downgrade, because either way, especially as a female, we're gonna be mad. But good God, he went to the bottom of the barrel to find this other one that he messed with.
Normally it's, well, I ain't gonna say normally because I wouldn't ruin a long-term relationship with some trash. That's just fucking stupid. Now you stuck with fucking trash. But
he is now. I mean, 18 years.
I'm gonna say this. When it comes to situations like this, whether it's a sister, brother, cousin, whoever, auntie, one thing you have to realize is if they haven't removed them from their life, then you guys can't either. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know if she's gonna forgive him or not.
Yeah.
Because what'll happen is she'll come tell one of you guys about what he did and be pissed off, especially in the beginning. Fuck him. I'm done with his ass, blah, blah, blah. I wish he'd go to hell and die. And amping y'all up, especially if she got brothers, they gonna want to fucking beat him up. But for what? If she's gonna keep him around, that was a waste of time.
She's one of the few that I can say is different. She didn't do none of that. Like I said, I didn't even find out about it until like a good 18 months into it. She told my sister and she told my dad. I don't know if they told my brother or not, but she didn't tell nobody really. And they live literally a block away from my dad. And her thing was that I don't know if it was denial, but she kept saying, all I could do is put it in God's hands. All I can do is put it in God's hands. And I wanted to literally drive over here from Texas and hit her upside the head. You know what I mean? Because
what up? Hello. What up, Dot? What up, Q Carlock? How y'all doing? Welcome, everybody. I want to say this to you, Corey.
Comments, because I can't even see straight right now. I hit my head coming out of the attic on the damn thing up there. So my eyes, I got one eye spinning one way and the other eye spinning the other way.
So she didn't tell you, right? You found out from somebody else, right?
No, she did tell me. She did. It took her a while before she was honest and told me all the way. she kept saying, well, you know, his bipolar. So I told him, as long as if he ain't getting no counseling for his bipolarness, then we can't sleep in the same bed together, that type of thing. And but she's always been private like that. If she were to walk up to me and tell me she was still a virgin, I would actually believe it. Because I've still to this day, I've never seen her be, until this Christmas, I've never seen her really touch on her dude or anything like that. And at Christmas, when she's laying on his lap, when everybody's watching the big what do you call it, the projectors movie on the projector on the wall there, I was like, oh no, 40 years I ain't seen you be affectionate with a dude, and now he gonna go make a baby. Oh, I wanted to go kick her upside her head. But you know,
Well,
I have learned, like you said, as long as somebody's keeping somebody around, keep your mouth shut, because they're gonna keep it. You got to, I get that.
You got
I
to.
get that.
It,
I've learned
as
that.
hard as it seems, you just got to do it. What's going on, Lorraine? You want to speak on the situation or give your advice on the situation, ma'am?
Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
Yeah. Women have a tendency to tell almost everything. But the thing is that if you tell on your spouse, the person that you're talking to them to usually gets upset and loses respect for that person. And you and your spouse can be okay, and that person is still carrying a grudge.
Yep.
That's me.
But
Yep.
I can admit it.
I know you're a hound dog, Chloe. But
I mean, especially when it comes to family, you did my family wrong. Nope, you're out of here. You know, but I'm here now,
but
and I see the struggle, and it's like he still did wrong, but because he didn't have to do that. He could have been mad, but he didn't have to go do that. You know, but still, I kind of sort of get it.
Yeah, but see, that was on him. Everybody else can be mad forever, but he's got to pay for the consequences.
He straight up said, it was all his fault. He says, I love your sister. Your sister loved me. He goes, and I ain't fixing to try to blame it on nothing. He goes, because I fucked up. I know I fucked up. He goes,
yeah.
But he says, years and years and years and years and years, everything we did would always go back to the family. And when he says the family, he's talking about my family, you know? And it is, and it's unnecessary too. It's all unnecessary. Right now, it's like, I'll give you a perfect example. My daughter's 20 years old. She can't get her license because she decided, they told her to put her address as my brother's address. And even though she lives at my dad's, but she can't get the license because she don't get the insurance, because the insurance goes according to the residency, and they don't want her to put insurance over there because they make it go up, and they can't put it over here. And I'm like, everybody needs to get their own address and put it back at their own house. Because you know how as you grow older, you might leave your address at mom and dad's, you know, before you do your mailing address change and all that. And apparently people have left their addresses here. So the way that the state has the insurance, everybody in the household gets put on the insurance, that type of thing. And it's like, you know, it's a domino effect. This family is a big ass domino effect, positive and negative, but it still is.
All right. Go ahead, Lorraine. Go ahead, Lorraine. I want to hear.
Another thing I was going to say too is that if you don't say anything to anybody, then you have to worry about isolation.
Yeah.
If you're isolated, you're not protected. So if you're disconnected altogether from your family for the convenience of your spouse,
yes,
then if something happens to you, like that the lady that was working at the nursing home, whose boyfriend came and dragged her out the door.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think the family knew they were having problems.
Exactly.
They thought she was sweet, you know, the children were being taken care of and everything, but he wasn't thinking about the children when he killed her.
Exactly.
And she was isolated. So, you know,
while I was waiting for this to start, I did make up my mind that there is no right or wrong answer. There's not an answer that's going to fix every family or every situation, because it is going to be an issue by issue type thing, whatever, problematic comes up, and it may not be the same answer this time as it is the next time. I think a lot of it does go back on your own personal character and stuff. But at the same time, if you give and you give and you give, that there's people that's going to keep taking and taking and taking, and you can love that person, but sometimes you need to tell them, I can't give no more.
So
Yeah.
I want to intervene there for a second. You said that there's not a right or wrong answer for this situation.
No,
To me,
for all the situations, family, just different
Well-
family situations.
well, the topic was, where you
As
draw
far as
the
the
line.
topic, yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, as far as the topic is, you know what I'm saying, the best thing to do is play your position, whichever it is. If you're the spouse or you're the family member, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If you're a grown up, you should understand how to handle these situations. You cannot let feelings cloud your goddamn thinking, because that's the first thing that's going to cause that big ass domino effect that you was talking about.
Yeah.
Because if she told her brother, told somebody that's a man in the family, and he go knock his ass the fuck out, and then they get back together, every time he gonna see that man, he gonna goddamn flinch, like, don't hit me, man. Or he gonna want his fucking revenge. And if he see that he can't beat his ass, you know what happens after that. So the best thing to do, if you have not made up your mind as the person who was done wrong, don't tell your family. Don't tell them. If y'all gonna fix it, y'all fix it. If you go run tell your family this is what's going on, they gonna take it as you need help. And guess what family gonna do? If they real, they gonna fucking come running. And
Yep.
they gonna put them paws on his ass, point blank, period.
Yeah.
That's real shit.
As I say, I don't even know. I'm sure my brother knows by now, but I don't really, since I don't really, talk to him that much. I don't know. But for me, I didn't. It wasn't so much because I guess I was already at that point where, okay, I know that or should I say, I was worried that she wasn't ready to let go, or was she living in denial or whatever. But at the same time, I even though I didn't really say nothing, it was just inside. I don't want him around here. I could feel that. And like when the holidays come up, I was trying to remind myself, don't be standoffish or cold towards him or whatever. And I wasn't. But at the same time, here's an example. And I guess it's kind of how he felt in different, over the last 3.5, 4 decades. You have your job, your income, and your household, and there's just always somebody in your spouse's family, maybe not even the same person, but just always somebody needing something. And maybe you got it because it's not big, and you give it, but then after 10, 15, 20 years, you start thinking, if I wouldn't have gave every time that it was needed, if it was needed, imagine where me and my spouse could have been at today. That's what I'm saying, is that's a hard decision and a hard thing to figure out. And that's what I mean by on those type of situations, it's almost like a base incident by incident, because if their car breaks down, okay, you want to help them out to get their car fixed and get their ass to work. Okay, but if they ain't driving right and they ain't taking care of the car properly, then are you going to keep fixing their car when they ain't taking care of that car? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I actually do. You want to say something, Rain, before I do?
Yeah. I was about 12 or 13, and my daddy beat my mama up real bad. I'm not gonna say why, going into the circumstances or anything, but he broke her nose, and she called her brothers. We were living in Florida. They were in St. Louis, and for about 2 weeks, every time there was a knock on the door or the phone rang, he almost messed on himself, thinking it was one of her brothers, and they didn't play. They were just too far away, to get there. But It took a long time after they retired and moved to St. Louis for her brothers to not disrespect him. They didn't appreciate him putting his hands on their sister. You know, that they were a close-knit family. They would fight amongst each other, but you better not try and tell on them. You better not, say anything about them. They were very close. And you don't find that very often now. But see, that's the problem of telling it. But you don't want to be completely isolated. If they had been in the same city, he never would have put his hands on her.
Damn sure wouldn't.
No,
no. A lot of times you do got to have somebody to be able to talk to.
Yeah. Like I said, women tell it. Well,
I think a man needs, whether, I don't know if it needs to be a family member or best friend or something, but even a man, they need somebody to be able to talk to, because maybe they may not see things clearly because their emotions are involved.
Well, me personally, I'd be scared to talk to people because I'm afraid of getting the wrong advice. You know what I'm saying? Because I done had these conversations with my friends, and I tried different things that they advise. You know what I'm saying? Things that I wouldn't have normally have done because I thought, okay, A plus B was going to equal C, and they say, well, you tried, and guess what it equaled? C. You know what I'm saying? I said, I should have fucking followed my first mind. So when I'm going through certain situations, it's like my recent one I just went through, I stayed quiet, you know what I'm saying, until I was ready to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? When I felt like, man, I'm not going back, then I can talk. You know what I'm saying? But in the beginning, my heart was torn about, like, I love this woman. You know what I'm saying? And I said I would never run when times got hard. But as I began to think about things and put things in perspective, I was like, this motherfucker don't care about me. I lost my mom. I lost my brother. This motherfucker wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, that's it. Now I'm good now.
There's a difference between running and chasing. I don't think you ran. Listen. You just didn't chase.
I could have. I could have.
I'm just saying that while you were sitting still, thinking about everything for, what was it, 7 years or whatever, you need that time to make your decisions one way or another, whichever way you're going to make it, because you have to weigh out the positives and the negatives. And like my father-in-law used to say before he passed away, he says, no matter what it is, at the end of the day, when you lay your head on that pillow next to your spouse, ain't nobody else got their heads there with y'all. So if you can lay your head there and you're okay, and they can lay their head there and they're okay, then that's between y'all. But if y'all ain't okay with it, then y'all don't need to have y'all's head on that same pillow.
Hey, your cousin's next door playing all this fucking music and shit. God damn, that shit loud. You hear that shit? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut y'all. I want to play something real quick.
Legend. Tell Legend to turn that music down.
Nah, Legend ain't here. Legend is definitely not here. This song right here, my platinum members have already seen it. Most of you probably already heard it maybe once or twice. I never really put it on my page, but I've played it here. But the reason I want to play it is because it shows the brand new cover of my up and coming album. So y'all check this out. This is Blessings. We'll be right back.
Body to beat global.
Y'all didn't believe in us when we was down, so don't come round when we didn't give it up, was down on luck. We focused up until we came up. Blessings, work for more than we'll ever need now. We got blessings.
The road I took, it wasn't easy. A couple potholes, I prayed the Lord keep me. It's not a secret, I live off all the teaching. It's proof that the Lord will never leave. I truly believe it. Some people talk, but they don't have faith. Them non-believers, they just living off of God's grace. In them dark days, make a coward wanna part ways. But they don't do what God said, they choose the hard way. But then they wonder why I'm so blessed. But they would satisfied when a nigga show stress. Nevertheless, I hold a lot of weight up on my chest. I'm kinda glad that they left, cause they might make a mess. Some of these people really something else, cause they just want the benefits, they don't wanna help. So send them on their way, send them to the left. I'ma tell a nigga step, cause it's nothing, player.
Y'all didn't believe in us when we was down, so don't come round when we didn't give it up, was down on luck. We focused up until we came up. Blessings, work for more than we'll ever need now. We got blessings, blessings.
I took a major loss this year. My OG, the boss of the field. Pain still ain't stopped. Tried to sneak me from the real. You don't know how that feel, for real. But that's how it is. Seeing life, it ain't no side biz. We gotta duck the fucking vibe. Second chance for you to try again. My Satan's on his job, that's a higher man. Ain't nobody higher than, but depend on the man. There's a messiah, man. See, they don't understand, it's a bigger plan. Niggas be tripping, they be playing. He gon' come back again, gon' walk across this crooked land and lead this world a shaking land. Better believe it, you can book it, man. I took his hand, cause Satan coming at my fam. My fake friends don't care, they don't give a damn. So I'ma give him my glory, tell y'all my story. Cause I'm a man, 10 toes, I stand with my man. Can I get an amen?
I didn't believe in us when we was down, so don't come round when we didn't give it up, was down on luck. We focused up until we came up. We got blessings, work for more than we'll ever need now. We got blessings, blessings.
God, I just want to thank you for everything you've done for me. I even appreciate the struggle that you put in my life, because it made me a stronger man. For real. You dig? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was Blessings. Uncle Charles, I know you was like, where the fucking link at? I just released it. So if you're looking for it, it should be up there now. I just released it as we was playing it. I appreciate that. Let me just holler at my people in the chat real quick. Remember, y'all are welcome to come up here and, drop us some jewels. Because a lot of us, I'm pretty sure, especially if you have been married or is married, you done been through situations like this. And that's what this show is about. You know what I'm saying? It's not about just what I say or anybody say. It's about what we all feel and what we all think. Because a lot of people can use any person advice, but everybody's advice don't work for everybody's situation. Yeah. So, you can listen to different things and be like, you know what? I know that motherfucker. That might just work. You know what I'm saying? So your advice is definitely welcome. You know what I'm saying? If you got a story to share that's similar to Chloe's, hell, share it. I done had one. I done shared mine several damn times. I'm good. And Chloe, I think you're going to be fine. Don't let that shit get to you. But
I got a whole new set of problems today. My head hurt.
What's up, Lady Love? Ja, what's up, bro? Who else in the building? Trixie, what's good? Leanne, I seen your question. We're talking about where do you draw the line when it comes between family and your spouse? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes family feel like they got more clout or their balls are bigger than the spouse. In actuality, it's not. It only becomes bigger when the family member who is dealing with the shit asks for you to handle it. In the meantime, if they don't ask you to do shit, you sit your ass over there in that goddamn corner and wait and raise your hand if you want to speak. Until then, don't say shit. Don't say shit. It sounds fucked up, but it's real.
A big old hard crayon to be coloring in the coloring book. We're a little mad, like.
For real. Hey, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But
Now,
My
let
brother,
me ask you. Let me ask you. Well, you know what I went through today, or most of it anyway. How is it then when you got, whether it's just one family member, different family members, that they don't seem to be courteous, and but at the same time, like my sister should say, don't say that, don't, because the only reason why I don't say nothing to her is because she's so hard on herself. She beats herself up. And my brother-in-law and myself look at this same person and say, no, she's selfish, and she don't care who she steps on. And now that I've thought about it, since it's been said, I see both ways. I think when she does get hard on herself, she is hard, but in between that, she's gonna leave you standing there like she did, today, that type of thing. And you don't want to say something to a family member to hurt them, but how much are you gonna hurt yourself by trying to make things work or make things right around the family if that other person's not? These are adults. I'm not talking about the youngins. She's in her 30s, so that's an adult enough for me.
I got my response. You want to go, Miss Lorraine?
No, I'm good. Listen, I was reading 12 Steps
Okay.
comment. Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna say this, Chloe. I think you say this all the time when it comes to the J4K community. And no, I'm not calling your family hope. I'm just using your terms. You can't be Captain Save a Hoe if nobody wants to be saved. You know what I'm saying? You have to realize that, okay, if they come to you initially for your help, you attempt to help, and they are hard-headed just like you are, and they don't take your advice and they just do the opposite shit, then that's your sign. If they come to you again, I told you what to do the last time. You chose not to. So I know how that can come across as being, God damn, you mean
no, I agree with you there. I mean, on the same token, like with my sister, like I told her, says closed mouths don't get fed. I didn't know she was going through a lot of the problems that she was going through, so I never knew to offer any help. But like this incident here, it's like, it's not asking advice. There's not nothing. It's just that, like with the dog, everybody's just, let me go leave the dog at Grandpa's house. Well, then I'm stuck now with the dog.
Well, who's responsible for being that your father is in this condition? Who's responsible for helping him take care of the place?
I shit you not. And he took it the right way, because he laughed and turned red. But I went in there and says, you got a remote control that's going to get you out of this bed to go take care of that dog? Then tell your grandchild she needs to take that dog back home. And he started laughing because he knew, and that's what happens is they here, I'm gonna leave this dog. Nobody, well, actually, they don't even say here, I'm gonna do this. They just, you walk out the front door, there's an extra dog in the yard now. Just things like this. That's what I'm talking about. That type of inconsideration. Or, Grandpa, can I use your washing machine because mine broke? And now the water bill $260 this month. It's like, and ain't nobody else got to read this.
My fault. I thought you were finished. Go ahead.
That's all right. Go ahead.
I want to read this comment that's on the screen. Come from Balance. She said, a 22-year-old marriage ended today. I allowed my boundaries to be crossed constantly. Today I realized I had to let go, especially when the law has to come. Man, when the law comes,
I hear that, yeah.
That's it. That's it for me. If you call the fucking law on me, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Unless I did something that deserved that shit. But what she said, she allowed this shit to happen constantly. And that's not your fault. That's love, man. You know what I'm saying? If you believe, God, I hate going spiritual, but if you believe in what God speaks on when it comes to marriage, you did the right thing. Now I don't know what he did, because there's two things that he accept as to get a divorce. That's death and adultery. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to deal with a man or a woman that continually put his hands on you, but God ain't say leave for that. And I'm like, You're gonna have to make some amendments to that, man, because who the hell who want to sit there and get their ass whipped on a daily basis? After a while, I'm gonna fucking die, and he got the right to do what he wants to. No, God, I need some understanding. I do. I really,
I don't
really
think
do.
God says. I don't think God meant it like that. I'll be quick to tell you that.
Well, I mean, that's what it says. Am I wrong? Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean,
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that it's a conversation my cousin and I were kind of having on the phone the other day between our two dads. So it's the four of us, my generation and their generation. And my uncle was a minister in the past, and somehow it got brought up because it was another cousin and his lifestyle is how their conversation got started. But just like God had man write the words out for him on the pieces of paper, as the Old Testament evolved into the New Testament because times changed and God said different things in the New Testament than he did in the Old Testament. God just hasn't had nobody rewrite another piece of paper for the next generation because he knows we all too hard-headed anyway to read.
That's a nice one, Chloe. That's a nice
one. No, I honestly do not believe that God would expect any person to stay in an abusive relationship. Because God says your body's a temple and not to cause harm to it. And if you stay in, then you cause some harm to it. See, that's what I'm saying. You can't take just the one verse and say, oh, that's the 10 Commandments right there. That's it. You know.
Right.
Well, there is a third writing. It's called the Quran. And that teaches the respect that's due to women.
That's it.
How we're supposed to be treated, how we're supposed to be maintained and protected. And it doesn't say the same thing in the Old or the New Testament. Those are stories of things that had happened. And
I said yes. I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, those are stories of things that had happened. And so the third one tells of what to do and the battles that were had, you know, and because of the change. And people aren't following any of it. You know, man has put his spin on everything. You know, it's all right to have slaves. There's Muslims that are still buying and selling slaves, you know, in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. They're selling bodies and human trafficking here in America, but they don't want North Korea to fire a missile, but they can blow up something in off the coast of Florida, and then can't understand, you know, why buildings are falling down, you know, where these viruses are coming from. You know, there's a lot of man-made stuff that supposedly God put on paper. And so far,
I didn't see COVID in the Bible. Sorry.
Well, no, I'm not knocking either one. There's no way for me.
But I feel like I think, and I asked somebody this before, and I don't remember them ever giving me the answer about the Quran. How old is that book? It's I want to say it's
about 1,400 years old.
I was gonna say several hundred. I couldn't remember.
It's about 1,400 years old.
So again, and the internet's come up now.
Yeah,
you know, that's what I'm saying. They said there's been 1,400 years. Things have changed because when those 3 books were written, nothing on this planet is the same as it was back then. So I'm not going to say that God expects you just to not pay those books any mind. But that's why I always say I think it's between the person and God.
Go ahead.
And it is. But what's changed? Well, maybe none of it has changed, but maybe all of it has changed. But who's following the stories and the things that happened to the people in the Old Testament? Who's following the teachings from the New Testament?
Very
Who's
few, but
actually
there are some.
practicing and following? They're trying to. But see, there's a stipulation for everything. Oh, the Bible says not to do this, or you can do this, and then they'll change it to suit themselves. So they're not committing sins if they can just put a flip on it or a spin on it for
how they
convenience.
translate the
That's
verse.
right.
Yeah.
But see, none of us can judge the other for what they're following,
Yeah.
because
That's why I said
we
it goes
can't
back to
we
you
can't
between that
judge
person
them.
and
We
God.
can't prove whether they're a Christian, a Buddhist, a Tibetan monk. You know, everybody practices something different, so everybody's going to be judged differently on how they deal with what they practice and how they treat people and
I
everything.
think that when I was a child, I think I kind of got that mindset even back then, because it was like when I learned about how God talks about mentally handicapped people versus non-mentally handicapped. In other words, what they can comprehend, or even the age of a child's comprehension, that type of thing. Because not every 12-year-old is the same mental, they're not on the same levels. And I think in my mind, even back then, thinking when I was in church, I think it just kind of, I felt it in my mind, I guess. I don't know how to explain that. I think, I translated it to myself as every person is between, in other words, what God's going to hold me accountable for, that doesn't mean that he's going to hold you accountable for it. Because
What?
maybe.
Sorry, go ahead.
Depending on what it is. Just depending on what it is. Because maybe you didn't have the understanding that I had that was wrong. You see what I'm saying? And that's
Right,
why
I get what you're saying.
that's why at a very young age, it just kind of hit me, because it's like, how are you going to punish me if I didn't know it was wrong, but that person knew it was wrong?
That's a good point. I'm glad you brought it up.
That's why I always say, I've always just felt like it's between the person and God.
Let me go to the chat, because we got some comments that I definitely want to read. Leanne said, I feel like those situations are often where your spiritual relationship is developed and strengthened. You wake up and you're like, what the hell have I spent my life doing? And just think about it. Especially now with the new era, the new age, the internet age. You can see all kind of shit. You can learn all kind of things that you may have not known when you were being taught as a youngin'. Now you see all these different theories about how we were created, and God is actually the sun. Look, if the internet era never came about, none of us would have knew that unless we had a whole bunch of authors just started writing books and putting that information out there. So it baffles my mind to see people who grew up understanding one thing. And there's nothing wrong with questioning anything. I don't see nothing wrong with it. But now everybody got their third eye open, and a lot of people starting to doubt God, period. I don't understand that. Let me play this song real quick. I don't know. I can't do that. Y'all, this is a new song right here. I play. It's a new body to beat that, my members already seen. This is A Long Time Coming. Rest in peace, Mo 3.
Khalil, you going crazy.
Niggas, they playing for keeps. My only focus is body to beat. My beautiful daughter that ride with me. That's two of the reasons that I'm with me. Them other little bitches be lying to me. So I just been building my dynasty. Why they tricking you niggas to die in the street? Father been kind to me. Can't lose time or sleep. Matter of fact, that reminded me. Gotta make time for the grind. When I close my eyes, gotta thank God for times been hard for me, but I made it this far at least. At least my mom's in peace, even though the pain really bothers me. So I smoke Mary Jane when it's hard. That's a big part of me, but God put a heart in me, so I'm living like God in me. I keep the peace so don't start with me. And better believe ain't no broad in me. But it's a part of me that you don't wanna see out of me. So don't you be stupid and try to come handle. The beast will come out and I turn to an animal. And I switch your catalog. Yes, sir. It's been a long time, man. Sing that shit 3. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Keep my gun. I'm keeping my strap on the side of my hip, and that lock on my door is protecting you, shit. So if you decide to come breaking my shit, then your life will just end cause I'm taking your shit. Ain't no price on your head, I'm not making a hit. When you choose to do wrong, gotta face what you did. Cause I cannot let you come face my little kid. Self-defense is gonna erase my little bit. I done made my amend, I'm good with my kin. If you lose my respect, you can't get it again. You try me one time, you gon' do it again. Be living with angels like you moving in. Let me live in my peace while you live in the street. Cause I left them alone and got back on the beat. That don't mean that I'm weak, that just mean I'm a G. And half of you niggas don't know what that mean. Why would I compete with not one of you niggas? When I find you little niggas, I'm done with you niggas. But if it's a problem, then come to me, nigga. And come by yourself, cause it's one of me, nigga. You wanna be hitters, ain't running me, nigga. I'm 41, bitch, ain't no son of me, nigga. Nigga talking about fear, but ain't none of me, nigga. Now why would I run what you done to me, nigga? Yeah, that was the new Body to Beat. Long time coming, featuring the late great Mo 3, my dog. I stopped on this comment right here that Trixie put up because I can understand her feeling the way she do. And I'm gonna just read that real quick. I can't find it. She said, when it reaches that toxic level, it's best to walk away. I have learned, though, only the person that's being abused can be the one to end it when they have enough. It won't matter what anyone else will say. How do y'all feel about that? I kind of agree with her, to be honest with you.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, how can somebody tell you how much pain to fucking deal with, how much abuse to deal with? And I can die.
Well, even going back, everybody's got their different limits. So what's abusive to me may not be abusive to the next person.
That's true. That's true. That's when, those, I have to say women, because that's what would happen to. They'd be like, oh, my face just ran into his fist. That's all. What? No, it didn't. He knocked your ass out is what he did. When you hear excuses like that, that's crazy ass love, if you ask me. Because there's no fucking way in hell I'm just going to
I don't know if it's love or just confusion.
What is it?
Confusion.
What, confused about what?
They confused thinking they in love, and that ain't love.
And I've heard several people say that. How can you? I bet you if you stuck your hand in the fire, you wouldn't do it again. Now would you? You still confused again?
If there was something in there you wanted, you would.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out the comparing the two, but a lot of times the victim of the abuse, whether they're told it or not, their self-esteem is so down, and they'll sit there and say, it was my fault. Maybe I can do better. A lot of times, and it's like standing on the outside, you want to reach in there and grab them by their neck and swing it like around like a chicken. But I mean, you can't until they've had enough. You can't.
You got a point there, right? And what you said, Chloe. I gotta agree with you on that.
Be ready to
Because-
call 911 because they may not survive either. But you know, if they're not ready to go, no matter what you say or do, they're going to keep going back.
Me personally, what I did was I tried to play devil's advocate and look. I say, well, what could I have done better? And it don't matter if I did anything wrong. I would try to find something that could have caused them to do what they did to me. Because a lot of people say you so goddamn stubborn and you don't like to listen to nobody and what they say. No, if it don't make sense to me, if it's not morally right, I don't have to understand what the fuck they trying to say. I know I guess that is being stubborn, but to me, that's being smart.
It depends on, in my opinion, it depends on how long it's been that way. In other words, like if y'all didn't start out with that as an issue, y'all, you know, or as even part of the relationship, and then it evolved into that, and then y'all had the talks about, hey, it's bothering me, don't, you know, whatever. And then the other person doesn't want to change because that's what they've evolved into being like, then you have to make that decision. Do you want to stick around or not? Because whether we like it or not, the older we get, we do change, whether we like to admit it or not. Our ways change because, you know, the guys may have picked up their boxers before, and then they, after 50, they don't want to pick up their boxers no more. Women, you know, used to keep their hair brushed and makeup, whatever it was. And then as they got, I don't want to wash dishes no more. Y'all better have some paper plates because I ain't doing no more dishes. I refuse. I did dishes for 40 years. I ain't doing them no more. And that's just how I feel. Now, I'm not going to go in, you know, to somebody's house and refuse to wash dishes, but I ain't going to make a lot of dishes neither because I don't want to be washing them. You see what I'm saying? So we do evolve, but when you're in a relationship and things have evolved, then you need to have that talk.
Yeah, most definitely.
And if you can't have if you can't have a medium ground, then you have to decide, make your decisions.
Shayna Carter says, "Love is still forgiveness." Lorraine, what you think about
that? To me, that does not compute. Does not compute.
I agree. I agree.
Hold on, Chloe.
I agree with her.
You agree with Lorraine?
Miss Lorraine. I believe I'm agreeing with Miss Lorraine.
Okay.
Go ahead, Miss Lorraine. Go ahead. We want to hear this.
Okay. Sometimes people are everybody's raised different. A lot of people are raised the same. You know, some have safe, mentally healthy childhoods. Some don't. Some of the ones in the unhealthy upbringing may feel like the hurtful words or the physical harm is showing love out of self-defense. That might be what they think. But if you look at it, you can punch somebody in the stomach or slap them in the face with words and not put your hands on them. And so somebody that's used to the physical harm will take the verbal abuse longer than somebody that hasn't had that. And to realize that the intent of the person is to make you feel bad or to make you feel little, how can you forgive that? And if they love you, you wouldn't have to go through that. It would naturally, it's like it would naturally heal. You know, what's the intent?
Right.
What are you doing to this person?
Right.
And so love isn't forgiveness. Forgiveness and love is two different things. You can forget what somebody did, and you might not necessarily forgive what they did. but that doesn't mean love. Love is used a lot, and a lot of people don't understand what it means. Sometimes it means to sit and suffer in silence. Sometimes it means to fight back or dial 911. But depending on how people are raised and how they're treated, makes me say, love and forgiveness don't compute. For me, it doesn't. That's my opinion.
Okay,
It
that's your
doesn't.
opinion. That's your opinion.
Yes.
If it's a must, then do it from over yonder. You got to love them from afar because
What,
Hey everyone.
what up?
that
What up,
emotional
Kathy?
abuse
Hey,
sticks around a lot longer than those black eyes and bruises and stuff.
yes, yes.
I wanted to make sure y'all are talking about abusive relationships.
Well, we've moved to that point, but the topic of the night or the question of the night is, where do you draw the line between family and a spouse? You know what I'm saying? Family, they have to have that line that they can't cross. And we just came to this point. So if you want to go ahead and talk about it, feel free.
Well, no, I mean, I've been in 2 very abusive relationships. Of course, after the first one, I was like, I'm never going to do that again. Never going to get involved in one again. And the second one, it didn't happen right from the beginning. It happened years later. But in my opinion, it's easier for somebody that's never been through that kind of predicament to do with verbal, even physical abuse. It's easier to say, oh, I wouldn't do that, or I wouldn't, I'd be able to get out of that. Because when you're in that situation, you're not in your right state of mind. Because for me, I was so down, I was depressed. And when you're depressed and you're feeling that way, you're not in your right state of mind to really, how can I explain this? It's not like you're crazy or anything. It's just you're not in the right set of mind to say, okay, I'm getting out of this right now. I mean, it took me a while to get out of that second relationship. It took me years. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but it took me hearing one song, that one by Katy Perry, I'm Wide Awake. I was sitting there one night and I saw that video and I was like, I've got to leave. My kids are going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. I got to leave.
Mm.
And
Man, what up?
I was
Go
thinking
ahead.
something right now while the 2 ladies were talking. I'm not speaking on physical abuse or mental abuse, but there are times where people that you love, whether it be your spouse or your family member or even just your friend, can say or do things that hurt you. And because you love them and you feel like they have love for you, you let them know, hey, that hurt my feelings, or whatever. And then if they continue to keep doing it and not take how it makes you feel into consideration, then you need to reevaluate. Is this person really loving me? Does this person really care for me? Because if they did, they wouldn't deliberately keep doing this or keep saying it, whatever it is, that type of thing. So, if somebody's punching you in the face, no, you don't need to say, I don't think you're supposed to do that because that hurt me. But, because that's just common sense. But if it's other things like, maybe they didn't intend it, like, 'cause that's what you're saying, with the intent to belittle you or something like that. And if you let them know, hey, you know what, that made me feel belittled, even though that wasn't your intent, that's how it made me feel. Now, if that person continues to keep doing it, it's time to sit at the table by yourself if you have to, and reevaluate.
Yeah. I want to welcome everybody that just came in. Tanya's in the building. My cousin is in the building from Cousins in Conversation. So that's who that is, Uncle Charles. What's going on, Lily's Corner? We're going to welcome Brother Ja to the panel. But first, before we hit Ja, we're going to remind y'all of Sunday.
This is my family. This is my family. This is my family. This is my family grind. This is my family.
other option. They said pressure bust pipes? I was taught diamonds was created through pressure. Now watch me shine.
I didn't learn to be quiet when I had an opinion. The reason they knew who I was because I told them.
You can find me somewhere in between inspiring others, working on myself, dodging negativity, and slaying my goals. Boom.
I never let life circumstances define me as a person, cause I know that I'm the one that control my own destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to my family. This is my family ride. This is my family ride. This is my family ride. Cousins and Conversations.
All right,
I like that video, boss.
Appreciate it. Before we go to Ja real quick, I just want to remind you, if you have put anything in the chat and I haven't seen it, I'm scrolling. As I see things, I'm stopping. So if you got something that you definitely want to speak on and I haven't gotten to it, I'm not ignoring you. Just so many damn comments. I'm trying to listen to my panelists as well. Feel free to come up here with us. But let's welcome the homie, Ja Biggs in the building. What's going on, homie?
Yo, Shalom. Hey, I'm just a second, my brother.
All right, do what you gotta do, man. All right, so let's go through the chat real quick.
Ja Briggs is
He
in
handled his
Texas.
business.
He's in Texas.
Message saying walk away.
I don't know.
And I think that might be the smartest thing to do, especially if it's an abusive relationship. Of course, you have to live with your face every day. You're just gonna let them just destroy your face. And then I know sometimes abuse is words. And one thing I never understood is only person to me that can destroy your self-esteem has to happen as a youngin', and it started in the home. And it had to come from a parent, because those are the people that you love the most and you believe in the most. I don't think there's another goddamn person in the world, man that is, that can destroy my goddamn confidence, my self-esteem. It's called self-esteem. It's what you believe in.
You, but a man might be able to do it to a woman.
How is that? Like, you break that down to me, because
you've never seen that happen to a female.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand it. That's what I'm saying. I ain't saying it doesn't happen. It happens all the time.
Because you got testosterone. That's why.
But don't y'all say a woman can do anything a man can?
I think there has been females that has done it to men, but they weren't alpha men.
Okay. You ready, John? Oh, he's still talking. Okay, go ahead.
And an alpha female isn't going to try and do what a man does.
Yeah.
She's going to do the best she can with whatever she does. You know,
Whoa.
What happened?
Go ahead. I ain't cutting nobody off. I'm just messing with y'all. Go ahead. Keep going.
Go ahead, Ms. Lorraine.
Yeah, the competition that's been set up isn't between alphas. It's the betas and the Charlies that are trying to come up and wearing the mask. You know,
I ain't
the
trying.
sheep and wolves clothing, huh?
I ain't trying to. I've lived enough years. I ain't trying to do it all. Get your ass up and come help me. Come on. That's what I'll be like. Because like as far as boss saying the women can say they could do anything a man can. Well, Chloe's got this saying that says that's possible. But if I'm gonna do it by myself, I'm gonna be by myself.
All right.
Well, boss, like,
go ahead, Kathy.
No, I was gonna say, Boss Blake. You said something a little bit ago that made me wonder. Talking about that. It would have had to been like a parent that got your self-esteem down that low. And I wonder if there's, just because you commented about that, I wonder if there's a study showing abused women, or even abused men for that instance. But anyway, abused, if anybody that was abused and stayed in those relationships, I wonder if it shows that they had like issues with their parents, or issues with their, like their parents got divorced or something like that. And like, I had daddy issues, I ain't gonna lie. But that's because at 13 and 14, I felt like my father wanted to forget his real children and take care of his foster kids instead. And that was, I felt abandoned.
Let me go ahead. I'm sorry, I thought you was done. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I wonder if that's true, if it does start, if there's a study that shows that can be proven.
Let me ask you this, and I think you might be onto something. Matter of fact, you're probably right. But for those, whether it's a man or a female who came up as a youngster, let's say both parents in the household, and let's say the father was beating on the mom. Okay, that's all he saw. Or let's say the daughter seen her mom just out there prostituting, or whatever the case may be, and that's all she saw. As they grow older, you got school you're going to, especially nowadays. You got the internet era where you can see so much. You got friends who may have two parents in the household, whose household is totally fucking different. They came up like the Huxtables. And you can't, so you mean to tell me they think that the way they came up is the right way, or is the acceptable way of living? Anybody can answer that, because there's a lot of things, as you grow up, you see different shit. So that's one thing, and I'm asking because I don't want to sound, you don't understand, Blake. So y'all break that down to me. Anybody?
Okay, I'll go first. I personally, I don't feel like a study needs to be done. If you're living here on this planet amongst the human race, you can witness what happens. If a little girl is raised by a strong man, she's going to be strong. She's not going to trust everybody that comes along. She's not going to go through some of the changes that other women go through. If you got a little boy that's dominated by his mother and watching his father being dominated, he's going to be a weak man, and he might be a wife beater. He might be an abuser. And what book do you have to read to understand that when you see it? A weak man when you see him. A weak woman when you see him. What book do you have to read? What survey do you have to see to realize that? Why does there have to be a study if you can see it?
I don't think that there's a golden rule for every person or situation, because there's a lot of kids that came out of single family homes, okay,
yeah,
and vice versa with the two parent homes, and then you break it down. Okay, well, what if there was a step parent and an extra parent, or what if it was a widow? I mean, I think that kind of really goes back to the thing, like I said with God earlier. Every 12-year-old's mentality level is not the same, whether it be because of however they were raised, or the personalities of the parents, or maybe it was a perfect home and then they went to school and the teacher was up some kind of way. It's the same thing. There's no golden rule or golden answer for any one situation. But if I don't want to say it the wrong way, but I've never been one to feel, I'm not going to say therapy's not okay. It's just, I heard too many of those stories from the 80s where the therapists were doing crazy things to their patients. And for me, it's always been a fear, like if somebody goes to therapy, are they going to get one of those doctors that be brainwashing them into thinking stuff happened that never really happened? you know. But if a person can go to therapy and get some benefit out of it, other people maybe can go to just church and get some benefit out of that having the same two problems. Somebody might be able to just go talk to their best friend and be all right, you know. So maybe there's not really a golden rule or a golden answer for those situations. Because everybody don't see clear because they don't clean their glasses either.
B-Love says she stayed because she had kids and no resources. And she said she thought she was sticking it out. I hear that a lot as well.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that video I played, I think it was last Saturday, when that dude was talking about, I can't remember the topic, but the white dude that I had up here, and I played the video, and he said, don't blame the kids for not chasing your dreams. This kind of reminded me of this. You know what I'm saying? She said she stayed because of the kids. And do not take this the wrong way, D-Love. You know I got nothing but love for you. But do you really think that was the right thing to do to allow them kids to stay there in an abusive home? I'm just asking because I haven't been through that.
Or an unhappy home. It doesn't necessarily have to be abusive.
But I mean, matter of fact, I don't even know what she was sticking out. And we was talking about abusive homes, so that's what I'm assuming you was talking about. But regardless of whatever the situation was, if it's not a healthy environment for the kids, I don't think that's the right thing to do, if you ask me. I mean, if you agree or disagree, let me hear from you.
Well, last week, in the video, the man was saying that if you couldn't support his dreams,
right, that's what it was.
You had to go. Yeah. Yeah.
Was he supporting her dreams?
No, it was all about him.
It was all about him.
That was about him. Yes. Yes.
I'm not gonna let you get away with that. We don't know if he supported her dreams or not, but the video was about him. But if he was gonna bring that to the table, I'm pretty sure it should work vice versa. You're not gonna go in there and say, if you don't support my dreams, I ain't fucking with you. Well, what about mine? Fuck your dreams. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Hey, boss.
No, what's up?
I wanted to say, you're right about that with the kid issue because, me being in that relationship and nobody can, understand how I have to deal with this every day, because I know it affected my daughter greatly. My son, he didn't understand as much because of his issues, but my daughter, she was young and went up into a teenager in this relationship, and it affected her greatly. And that's something I have to live with every day, knowing that I allowed her to see that and be involved in that. So I don't think at all that it's a good excuse or even to say, oh, well, I did it for the kids, because they see that. They see it, they hear it. If they're not getting abused themselves, they see you getting abused, their parent getting abused. And that's sometimes even worse for some children to,
Don't ever let your kids hear you stuck around for them in that relationship, because they may take it that, oh, so it's my fault you used to get beat up and punched. You got to think about that.
You're right, Cassie, because my daughter did think that it was her fault that the way I got treated. She thought it was her fault, and she blamed it on herself for the way she got treated also. And it was very hard for her. I mean, she's better now, don't get me wrong, but she's done awesome. But it was just that, her being that young, she blamed herself for everything. She blamed herself for how he was to us. And I mean, yeah.
I don't know if y'all see this comment across the screen, but I think things like this do happen. And I think minus the kids, sometimes this is the reason why women stay. Shayna said, what about when you leave a person years later? She said they killed the son, or it could be any kid. Look, that's a tough one. Nobody expect for a motherfucker to go to the extreme to do something that bad because you left them, but it's motherfuckers out there like that for real.
Yes. Yes.
But if they
Can't
got
deal
that,
with it.
they got that in them to do that. They got that in them to do that. Whether you're staying or leaving, they'll just find another reason.
I think it's a control issue. It's control. They want to control the situation. Yeah. I don't know why they would kill you if you stay, but I wouldn't say, I ain't gonna say it wouldn't happen. But yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one right there. Jesus. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up with these comments.
Yo, shalom. My bad,
oh,
bro.
There you go. Well, welcome, bro.
What's going on, man? Shalom to the panel. Yeah, man, it's an interesting conversation, man. Y'all, the corners that y'all been hitting, man, they didn't get interesting, man.
So what's your take on it?
First, I want to say shalom to everybody on the panel, man. How y'all
Peace,
doing? I want to start off by saying, from what Miss Lorraine was talking about, the love and how everybody was putting that. I believe everybody got their own definitions of love and the way they think they should be loved, or you know what I'm saying. I was just talking to some people just the other day about this type stuff, and it's like and about the topic. The topic of the night was, can you remind me of the topic? My bad, bro. My mind is kind of scattered. I'm going everywhere.
It's all right. We just talking about drawing the line.
The main topic of the night.
Where do you draw the line?
Drawing a line. Okay, yeah, see, and that's what I'm saying. My opinion on that might be a little different because, like I told somebody the other night, man, like, my spouse, which is the chick that I get with, is like my everything, and that might be different between me and any other man because, like, I don't have a good relationship with my mother. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people put their family over their spouse, really. And in the Bible, if you really go with the Bible, or if you really with the church, once you get married, or you know what I'm saying, especially you get married, you ain't supposed to put your spouse. You ain't supposed to put your family over your spouse anyway. But a lot of people put their family over their spouse. A lot of people put their family over their spouse, whether it's a man or a woman. But me, whenever I get with a woman, like, you know what I'm saying, it's she become my everything. Like, it ain't just like a relationship type thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's more. It's deeper than just a relationship. 597. She becomes my everything, just like I'm her everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's simply, it's more simple for me because I don't try it again. Take it out, try it again. It's more simple for me because I don't have a real good connection with most of my family like that. You know what I'm saying? But they don't give it an excuse. I mean, it just helps me out like that personally. But I do that with any women that I get with, or any woman that I get with. Like, she's literally my everything. I tell her my secrets. Like, you know what I'm saying? She knows more about me than anybody. That's how it's supposed to be. Your spouse is supposed to be the one that knows the most about you, more than anybody else on the planet. You know what I'm saying? She's supposed to be able to know your secrets. She's supposed to know your loopholes. You know what I'm saying? What makes you weak, what makes you strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's the one supposed to be the key to the gates. Like, in my eyes, see? And that's why it could be different from other men, from men to men, depending on how you come up with your philosophy on things. But that's just how I see it. Like, my woman, she is the line. My family can't cross it, you know?
Right. Hey, you ain't saying nothing wrong as long as it's a marriage, like you said. One thing I did experience was, we had our little talks with my uncle, because my cousin Tanya's father, he's a pastor, and he explained that to us. You know what I'm saying? No one, once you make this bond, no one, not even your kids, come above neither one of you. And the fact that she told me, or she understood that shit changed immediately. You know what I'm saying? I became the prince of the house. The grandson became the king of the house. You know what I'm saying? It's like what he said was gold. I'm like, wait a fucking minute. I thought you understood how this worked. You know what I'm saying? It changes. And people, I think it's just a natural thing for a woman. And I'm not picking on women at all because they're nurturing. They feel like more attention and love should be shown to the kids. And that's not how it's supposed to go. But everybody don't live how the great books say you live. So I can't bash her for that, but at the
Now,
same
see,
time,
I can't say I fully agree with that, bro, because like I said, like that was one of my problems with my mother. You know what I'm saying? Like she didn't show her kids enough love because she was chasing after the men that she tried. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a fine line, you know what I'm saying, between anything. Just like there's a fine line between having too much of anything as well. You know what I'm saying? But like that's what I'm saying. Like I kind of disagree with that with you on that part. Like you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, there's a fine line, and you can get lost track on whatever. Just like you overdose on drugs, you can overdose on trying to find the next. You know what I'm saying? The next nigga or female to lay up in your bed. It's still the same shit. Like you know. But what I want to say on the love part, and that's what I was getting off track with what I was saying with Miss Lorraine. I kind of got to disagree with that too as well, because I figure love is forgiveness. I don't think that's only love, but I think love is a main part of. I think the main part of love is forgiveness. And one incident that we talked about before that I can bring up again was one of my exes. Her father, you know what I'm saying, got back with the mother that had a baby by one of the cousins. You know what I'm saying, and they had kids right after that. You know what I'm saying, so it's like he forgave that and they still had kids. That's real love. Like some people might say, hey, I'm gonna walk away from this and that, but they already had kids, you know what I'm saying, before that mess up. Or you know what I'm saying, that was a woman messing over a man. And we don't never get to talk about women messing over men like that and men going back like that, you know what I'm saying, and people of the town looking at him like thinking that he's a dumb, you know what I'm saying, like he's soft, like he ain't, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like he's just a fool. You know what I'm saying? People don't know how it is for men that really get messed over like that. And we don't get talked about, or, you know what I'm saying, we don't get stood up for. So I'm just basically bringing that up, you know. So forgiveness is, I believe forgiveness is a big part of love, you know what I'm saying? You got to know how to, in order to love something or to love someone, you gotta be able to forgive someone. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
forgiveness is one of the hardest things to do. You know what I'm saying? To truly forgive somebody is really hard. People don't really know how to forgive. That's the thing. People really don't know how to forgive. We say we forgive, but you don't truly forgive. You know what I'm saying? To truly forgive somebody is a hard thing to do.
So I want
And that's
to
love.
address this. Hey, I salute you, bro, because you just opened my eyes to something that I was kind of sketchy about. But you're right. I kind of agree with you on that. Love is forgiveness, because who forgives us every day and every time? But I want to bring this
Every
to you,
time we
Chloe.
mess up.
Yeah, most definitely. April says love is enduring, but don't forget you must forgive. Chloe, man, you had this discussion a lot.
I don't know how.
It has to be here.
That's the only I can say. That's the only person I've ever heard say that. For a lot of people don't know how to forgive. I don't know how to forgive. If whatever is being asked to be forgiven, if it was intentional, then what are you apologizing for?
Yes.
You got caught.
That's a tough one. That's a
Because you got
tough one.
caught.
We can't put guidelines on it. See, the Heavenly Father don't put guidelines on us. Why we put
We ain't him,
guidelines
bro.
on forgiveness?
I'm
It don't matter what you forgive. But even though we're not perfect, but we gotta strive to be perfect. I'm not saying forgive for everything, but I'm just saying once we put guidelines on it, we start, then it cut down a lot. It's like why even say You get what I'm saying? Why even do
I
it
don't
at
think
all
it's
if
a
you're
guide.
gonna put guidelines on it? You know?
I don't
have
think it's a
guidelines.
guideline, John. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I
Corey.
can forgive. I have forgiven, but I'm not going to say it comes easily because in my mind, it depends on the situation it is. You know, if boss calls me an asshole and then asks me to forgive him, did you intend to call me an asshole? Did you willingly call me an asshole? Then why are you even asking for forgiveness? Because you said what you meant. Now, if he did it because Lorraine told him a lie and he believed it, okay, well, then I'm like, I'm still going to be mad because you know what? You should have known me well enough not to believe Lorraine's lie. That's what I'm saying is, so that's the part that I have an issue with. And maybe it's because
See, but that's too much investigation. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to investigate to see what really went on. See that, and that goes on to more stuff. If you would have just forgave him just then, it would have cut out a lot of stuff. Like, hey, I forgive you. Just please don't call me that no more. Don't think of me like that. And then that would have cut out a whole lot of messy stuff that would have happened in the middle. You see, that's what a lot of stuff is, and we forget. Like you. That's a simple thing, but we forget what forgiveness really is. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They come out their mouth. That's what I'm saying.
But that ain't no.
That's not putting any responsibility on that other person.
But Ja, you just said it yourself, bro, and I agree with you. Forgiveness is not easy, and we supposed
It's not.
to be.
It's the hardest
we
thing.
supposed to walk like Christ, but we can't do that. We not perfect. So if somebody goddamn kill a loved one of yours, you not gonna forgive them immediately. You might not ever forgive them. I remember when that goddamn guy. Hold on.
That is my situation, bro. That is my situation.
Hold on. My fault. I was listening to this. Y'all remember when Bolton, the dude that got killed by the police officer? He's in the house eating his ice cream, and they went in the wrong house or some shit.
Yeah.
Do you know that the fact that boy brother hugged that police officer and forgave her, the whole black community was pissed the fuck off with him? Now, what kind of shit is that? Because he was actually doing the right thing. But, black people so fucking forgiving. What? I thought that's what the man above want us to do, right? How the fuck can you judge what he did and he did the right thing, but people giving this man hell?
I think that he did the right thing because, and I didn't watch the whole thing as far as the case on that one. I just the beginning of it alone. But if he felt like it was unintentional, then yes, it came natural for him to do that and hug her. Majority of the time, a lot of the situations, family members of the victim is not going to feel automatically like that because they don't feel like the other person made an honest mistake. They feel, and especially when it comes to the cops, they gonna feel more like it was an intentional, deliberate type of thing. And so that's I mean, that's the same thing. That's what I was saying. It's not that I can't forgive. I mean, there's actually been a few people that I've forgave before they even asked for it because I already knew that it wasn't intentional. But if it's intentional, that's a whole different story. Miss Lorraine, take your hand up. Look at Miss Lorraine.
Go ahead, Miss Lorraine. My fault. Go ahead.
We get her a red
light.
Well,
I remember that case, and there was a lot of drama about it. She thought she was in her apartment, and he was an intruder, and the brother hugged her after she got her sentence. And for me, it wasn't about her. It was for him, the brother, so that he wasn't left carrying the weight of what happened. It was like he was clearing his soul. He wasn't going to build up a cancer and hatred and bitterness for her that he had to carry around. That's how I saw that. I was upset at first too. I thought he must be crazy, but he wasn't. He was clearing his soul. He was cleansing his soul, because you can build up animosity and bitterness and create a cancer in yourself. That'll eat you from the inside out.
Right.
So he was doing an antitoxin.
Yeah, and like I said, I give him big props. I salute him for being able to do that because, you think about it. if somebody did something to one of your children and you knew it wasn't intentional, you're gonna go as a parent through a roller coaster of emotions. But you may even be mad at that person for a time too. But you will forgive that person if you know that was not intentional to harm your child. But there's going to be still times that you're angry because the situation. You're not mad at the person. You're mad at the situation.
I want to, this just came to my mind. I want to show y'all something real quick. And it goes great with this conversation. This is a video I watched a long time ago. And this man actually forgave somebody who killed his son. I want y'all to take a look at this shit real quick, man. Mute up if you don't mind.
We're in Lexington, Kentucky, and the sentencing of Trey Alexander Relford. He's pled guilty to the 2015 murder and robbery of Salahuddin Jitmood, a 22-year-old delivering pizza. Jitmood was making his final delivery of the night when Relford and two accomplices lured him into their apartment complex, then robbed and stabbed him to death.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do. Before Relford receives his sentence, the victim's father, Sombat Jitmood, a school principal and devout Muslim, speaks directly to the man who murdered his son.
Trey Alexander Relford, I feel so sad for you that you have to be in this situation. I wish I could help you as I help my son to be a good citizen. If Salahuddin were to be here, if he alive, he will forgive you. That's the way he was. That's the way he is. I'm not angry at you for being part of hurting my son. I'm angry at the devil. I blame the devil who misguiding you and misleading you to do such a horrible crime. No, I don't blame you. I'm not angry at you at all. I want you to know that. I forgive you on behalf of Salahuddin and his mother.
Before Judge Kimberly Bennell delivered her sentence, there was still one person left to speak.
Mr. Relford, do you wish to make a statement?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry about what happened that day. But I do applaud you, because it takes a powerful man to know that somebody has hurt them and do what you, get up there and say what you just said. I have a child. She was 4. And I can imagine the hurt, the pain from what you heard. Just tell us I can do it. So when I thank you for your forgiveness.
Man. Jesus. That's God.
I've got to say that takes a strong person of God to be able to do that.
That's God. That's God. Right.
Just seeing that. Go ahead.
Go ahead, bro.
Seeing that brings me to my point. I wanted to also say, even though I say, you know what I'm saying, that we are like you said, people might say that might be God or we can't be perfect. I know we're not perfect at all. I'm not perfect. Like, but I say just to strive forward. You know what I'm saying? Just because we can't be perfect don't mean we can't strive forward. You know what I'm saying? And I picture it as like the three elements. Like I read a story in somebody's book that, you know, somebody's book. I read a story about it having to be like the three elements, like just like fire, wind, and earth. You know what I'm saying? And just like gas, liquid, and the solid. You know, it's just like the three elements. And I can only think of two right now, which is discipline and love. I can't think of the third element to that triangle right now, but I know there's the three elements, and love has to be one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be somebody, there has to be some group of people that just have to be here to spread love, because and that's what I've been finding out on this journey, this new journey that I've been seeking. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody gotta spread the love. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, because there's a lot of hate going on. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of the negative. There's a lot of the opposite side, but there's not a lot of people spreading love. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't gonna make it lopsided. Of course, he's gonna put that seed in some people. Like, yo, go spread my love. This is what I brought you here for, to spread my love. You know what I'm saying? So people can feel the love. That's what they tried to tie Christmas to, is spreading love, and then it just went to giving out Christmas and stuff, gifts and stuff, like, you know. So I just feel like just like people feel like there's a generation for things, there's a generation for a lot of people that's needing love, because there's a lot of hate going on, just like there's a lot of killing and everything else. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, rather that's in your family or with your spouse.
Appreciate that, bro. I want to play this song. We're gonna come back with final thoughts, man. That video touched me, man. We'll be right back with final thoughts, man. Appreciate everybody for sliding. This is well needed. Thank you, Chloe, for the topic.
As time ticks, we wait for the wheels to spin. I just wanna feel again.
This way, invested time, feel like I'm headed straight. At the end of the night, we fuss and we fight, we can't get it right. Hell of a feeling, I'm stuck in this, killing me. Now I can finally see the light. I finally can feel again.
Sometimes I'm feeling alright. Now I can feel again. Now that you are gone out of my life, now I can feel again. My own, but I never will fall. I just been building a wall, not taking no calls. The feeling been killing me, I just been cutting them on. I really be chilling and taking it off in my home. You can tell me that I've been the failure, that's never the cause. Cause to any rather, I'd rather be living with y'all. You thought you was clever, but really you thought I was dumb. But I'm not the one, I knew this shit from the jump. I guess it was love, I guess you was faking it, that's what it was. We not related and that's what it took. And that was the bull, did everything that I could. Took you up out of the hood, but nothing I did was good. Tell when a man a fool, I went to the Lord, he helped me. Never be selfish, feeling of helpless got me melting. Something I dealt with, never knew that you would fail me. This is a feeling of help me. One day I knew I would tell you, right now I gotta be yelling. Sometimes, but I'm feeling alright. Now I can feel again. Now that you are gone out of my life.
And now I can feel again. Fly like a pelican. I felt I was sick, I just needed this medicine. I call it peace. Searching for purpose. Anything else will be a disservice. And now I can feel again. I knew it was just a matter of time. I should have been new, but didn't read the signs. Mentally racing, I lost my mind. Yeah. Now I can feel again, now I can feel again, now I can feel again. Knew it was just a matter of time. I should have been new, but didn't read the signs. Mentally racing, I lost my mind.
Now I can feel again, feel again, feel again. Now that you are gone out of my life.
And now I can feel again, now I can feel again. Now I'm like, oh.
I can feel again. Oh, I can feel again.
Yes, feel again. Once you heal, you can feel again. I think somebody in the chat actually say, you know what I'm saying, when you forgive, that's a part of healing. And I remember a show we did a while ago, and someone made a statement that I will never forget. Forgiveness is not for the other person. It's for you.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to go to final thoughts, and we're going to go with you, Ms. Lorraine, to start us off. So have at it, ma'am.
Okay, I like what you just said. That's like prayer. You can pray all day for somebody else, but the healing and the prayer is for yourself. You know, it's going to work on you first. And as far as love and forgiveness, to me, it was an oxymoron. But the more I listened to it, the better I felt about it. And you know, I didn't feel so negative about it, because there's so many things to forgive, but if you don't, you're building up a toxin in yourself.
Yep.
You know, you can let things go and not carry it around with you forever. You know, and because it's just harmful to you. You can carry a bag of tricks. You can carry a bag of love and forgiveness or knowledge or wisdom or whatever. But it should be filled with goodness, you know, not hatefulness, not bitterness, you know, a bag of cancer, a bag of stones. But that was I appreciate the subject. I always do. And I appreciate being able to come up and give my personal opinion. I do, and listening to everybody else's. And I thank you, boss man.
Hey, I love you, and it's always welcome. You know, the people love to hear from you.
You're
Thank
smart
you.
woman.
I'm
Smart woman.
Very
not
smart.
not as smart as Chloe. You're too quick sometimes. You're like a cat with a claw.
I
You see
don't like
something and you're on it so quick. You're like a hound dog. No, a bloodhound. You hunt something down and you don't let it go.
Don't
try to hide.
That's right. But I'm gonna drop down now.
All
It
right,
was
I
good
appreciate
seeing
you,
you,
Lorraine.
Lauren.
All right.
I said, thanks, Lauren.
All right, Chloe. Final thoughts, ma'am. And thank you again for the topic.
You're welcome. I was in my emotions when I called you. I didn't know how to feel that night, that day with my brother-in-law, because I didn't want to be okay with it. So I'm going to drop this comment here in the chat. There you go. But I did make up my mind before you started the live tonight that, like I said earlier, there was not going to be any one answer to, fit all situations. But when you were talking about, because everything that was happening with me, if I wanted to put it off, I felt like, no, you know what? I don't know who or why or when. It might be on a replay, but maybe something that somebody said tonight, whether on the panel or in the chat, somebody else needed to hear. Maybe somebody just needed something that they needed to say and get it off their chest. But there it is. It says, we must get rid of the life we planned so that we can have the life that's waiting for us. Your future is behind you.
Break it down.
I read that one time, and it took me a minute to get it. And I think it doesn't go to any one situation, but it does remind me of the ones that say things like, I stayed because that's what was expected. I didn't want my marriage to be failed. I didn't want the kids to grow up in separate households, things like that. But again, it's not going to be happy. So what are you achieving for yourself or for your children? But you know, I wanted to be able to say that, hey, forgiveness is comes natural to some people and others it don't. But for me, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta take your time with life, and it'll come. If it's meant to happen, it'll come. Hopefully, it does. Because to me, forgiveness is a beautiful thing. It makes me feel better inside.
Like I said, there's been times that it just, like I said, it just overwhelmed me. Where as far as forgiving somebody before they even had a chance to ask for it. But for the most part, I can honestly say that it's always felt like, oh, the forgiveness is just giving them another opportunity to do it again. But it's not. It's not that way, and it shouldn't be thought of that way. So, and as far as it's like you had said something earlier, I wanted to say that there was everybody was on the panel, but like when you felt like the prince.
Yeah.
I can't say about your situation, but I can say in general for the most of the population, it kind of goes back to the whole nobody courts no more. Nobody dates. And I think that if you had those years of dating, by the time the grandchildren came along and they got to take the place of the king, you wouldn't even notice because you'd be over there with the PlayStation anyway. You wouldn't have felt that left out because you would have had those years of already being that number one. And I can't say that, like I said, I don't know your situation well enough to be able to say that, but I have noticed that on a lot of situations, a lot of relationships. People are missing out by not going those steps. They're skipping those steps.
Well, I did 2 years prior. I think that's long enough.
Don't say that because my son's on 3 right now. And my daughter's talking about she thinks my son's going to get married. Don't do that. I don't want my baby boy to get married yet. She's a good girl, but still, I don't know. But anyway, I hope something that, helped everybody tonight, whether it was what you expected or not.
No, I loved it. And just to say this before we go, if y'all have any, ideas for topics for grown folk talk, holler at me. Send it to my email. You know what I'm saying? Chloe, she got my number. She called me, inbox me or text me, whatever. So I done dropped my email in here several times. I'll drop it again. Holler at me. Hey, I'm a cool ass motherfucker. I'm with you. I do this for y'all, not for me.
Sometimes we just gotta get the words out of our mouth and we feel better.
That's all it takes sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, that's all it takes. It's just voicing it. Letting somebody hear how the fuck you feel. It works. Yeah. But I definitely appreciate you. And we're going to play another song and I'm going to come at my final thoughts. And we're going to get up out of here. Appreciate you.
Beat is lit. What goes around, it comes around. What go up must come down, 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 What goes around, it comes around. What go up must come down, 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 down. Dealing with life, gotta know the struggle's gonna come. Couple words of advice, just face them, pimp don't run. Even if you're sitting on that, even
even if the drama keep coming. Take a look at yourself, analyze that. Maybe you can use some help. Sometimes you gotta lose yourself. Think about what's right, what's best. I don't think nobody likes stress, cause too much stress, they can make you depressed. Recognize who in your corner. Show love, don't jump on them. Even if you're hotter than the goddamn sauna. The people that for life, you don't need no loner. That's a little free game and a bonus. The people, they can change in the moment. Try dealing with a bitch that's phony. Swear to God, you gon' end up lonely. And all of that love that you want, you gon' be sad that it's over.
Billy Club wave, so you know the beat is lit.
What goes around, it comes around. What go up must come down, 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 What goes around, it comes around. What go up must come down, 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 down,
Sitting in the midst of the flame, no one else to blame. 360, with the bullshit, homie, you can miss me. Acting all horse and prissy, like a bitch. Straight G shit this here. This shit gon' break that fear. Set the record straight for the magistrate, right before the hate appears. Right before the rise of the sun, for the ebb and the flows of the seas, in between the changing of the seasons, so that you can't make believe. Seeing itself the truth for what it is, but confirmation and proof is how I live. For the proper position is how I give. Everything meaningful to the real. On the real, I'ma blow. I'ma sit like the spook that sat by the door. I'ma grow. My growth and development is evident, yo. Never on pause. Universal laws, know they cause and effects. Work with karma, know nature's mama. So through the drama, keep yourself in check.
What goes around, it comes around. What go up must come down, 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 What goes around, it comes around. What go up must come down, 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 down.
Body to beat global. Hey, we ain't playing with you.
Man, this was a great show. Again, thank you, Chloe, for coming up here, telling us your story, listening to us. This is what it's about. The main topic of the night was, when do you draw the line with family and a spouse? I think we all know what's supposed to happen. But like I said, when feelings get involved, sometimes it's hard to fight those feelings and what you want to do versus what you should do. I don't think you have to ask whether you're the person who's dealing with the bullshit or the person who's listening to the bullshit. The decision is not yours. The people in the relationship, they have to handle that. My advice is never include family in your personal problems unless you need them to help end the shit. Because we know some men are crazy. Hell, some women are crazy. Be safe. Make the best decision for you. And if there's kids involved, you have to include them in that decision because their safety is very important. Now, I know we moved to, violent relationships, domestic violence and relationship and things like that. And I seen a couple of comments a few minutes ago. I think it was from April, and one from Shayna. Love, man. Y'all know me. Who y'all see before y'all, and when I tell y'all I love you, I don't say that shit just for my health. I really love y'all, man. When it comes to losing a loved one due to the fact, like that man I showed you guys, he said, I don't blame you. I blame the devil. You know, you can lose someone to domestic violence and you want to go hurt them. I lost my mom and my brother. Wasn't no violent death. They passed on. It was times I was looking for someone to blame. Real. But we all know when we come here, we got to leave here. Some people leave here in a way that's unthinkable. Car accidents, shot, fall off a building, get hit by a train. You want to point the finger at somebody, right? And it's a natural reaction to do that. But we come here, this is not our final home, people. What you do here determines what's your final home. Just remember that, man. Love. Like Shane and April said, love, man. Just love. It's not your decision and it's not your place to do anything to anyone who don't show you the love. You just love. That's what you do. Like Ja said, it's hard to forgive people, especially when it's intentional. I don't think that was an exception, bro. I just think it was a fact. We're not perfect. We want to walk in the shoes of Christ. Those are some big shoes to fill. You can't do it. But like he said, at least try. Get up out of here, man. I love y'all, and I mean that shit. Cousins and Conversations, Sunday, 6 o'clock. Be here. We got a great show and another great letter that y'all might want to hear. For everybody that I didn't speak to, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all for sliding through. Uncle Charles, I appreciate you for being here, my nigga. Yeah, I said that. I don't know. I just got turned up for a second. Y'all be easy, man. Stay safe. Gone, man.
Taylor, look a girl. Girl, I am sexy.
Hood with another one.
My fault.
Taylor, look a girl. Girl, I am sexy.
Hood with another one.
Hey, yo, Al Dance.
Mama left her son, they took my soul from me. They left your boy at night, empty toilet bowl running. Kept it a whole hundred, paid the dues on old nothing. Mama from that old run, just dope as fuck a cold woman. I never thought the day would come that I would lose her. Give her the highest praise, we know that is hallelujah. Pimpin', I just gotta do it. Watch me put my step into it. She didn't like that riding music, but this one here gon' keep her grooving. And mama let her hear her baby boy sing. I was singing to my mama till there's no pain. I wish I could go back to the old days. I miss you, mama. I know that you're gone away, but I'ma see you one day. I'ma see you one day. Ain't too much more to say. Just know your baby's okay. I'm okay. See you right now, that'll make the pain go away. It'll make it go away. Reaching out now, hoping that you feel no pain, no pain. Mama, I'ma see you one day. I came up about you in the early 80s. 8 pounds, 13 ounces, such a curvy baby. My pops was Gemini, my pops was really light. They say that I was spoiled, say my mama got it right. Working day and night, my mama, she made a way. Mama love her baby, don't know where she got energy, but what she had, she sent to me, cause I be killing me. Shout out to my precious queen, cause God keep blessing me. And everything she taught me made a better me.